Hi, and welcome to the Light Shines in the Darkness Christmas series. My name is Pastor Chris Ong, and I'm so thrilled to be just standing here on this amazing shore sharing with you about Christmas. You know, the thing about Christmas is that it actually begins with a scandal. It's easy to miss that it's a scandal, and it's easy to forget about the darkness that kind of pervades Christmas. Because when we look around at your average Christmas celebration, we usually just see celebration, joy, rejoicing. I mean, there's like babies, stars, angels, right? It's people coming home to be with their family, and best of all, there's presents. However, all of these celebrations, they lose their impact if we forget why Jesus had to come in the first place. You know, if we're honest, we're all aware of the big problems that face our world today. It exists whether we like it or not. War, terrorism, oppression, prejudice, and all kinds of ill sins. These things we know are not easily fixed with band-aid solutions. In fact, even if we don't take the world and the problems of the world, if we're more honest about ourselves, we will know that there is a dark side in all of us. If we pay attention to what's going on in our lives, we will see our own failings and also realize that it's not easily solved. That so often we find ourselves doing things that we never really wanted to do, that we don't even like in us. So to truly understand the root of this problem, we actually have to go to the very beginning, to Genesis. I'm hoping to take you to the story of Adam and Eve, but it could very well be an account of any one of us. You see, they had everything going for them, perfect lives, but it turned sour, it turned into shambles because they disobeyed God. Did you know what was the thing that led them into darkness? You know, most people think that it is them eating the fruit, you know, the so-called apple, but it's deeper than that. Let's take a look. They were tempted by the prospect of being gods. Genesis 3 verse 5 records this. So this is Satan, and this is the hook that he uses to tempt Adam and Eve. It says, "For God knows that when you eat of the fruit, your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Then verse 6 records both of them embarking on that adventure, tasting the fruit. And verse 7 says, both their eyes were opened. You know what? They got it. They knew good and evil, but not as God knew it. See, God knew it from the outside, sitting aside from His creation. He was a good God, and He knew evil because He knows all things. Adam and Eve, and all of us, we know it from the inside. We know evil because we've tasted it. We know evil because we've done evil. We know evil because it at some level infects us. Genesis goes on to say that they saw their nakedness and shame entered the world, and they didn't like what they had become. Now, if we fast forward, we get to Luke 15, and Jesus Himself tells 3 parables about this particular predicament that we find ourselves in. He tells the story of the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son, each with escalating intensity. 1 out of 100 gets lost, 1 out of 10, and then 1 out of 2. Through these parables, He communicates the very heart of God, who is like that shepherd, or the lady, or the father who searches fervently for the precious thing that has been lost. In the story of the prodigal son, who left home and spent all of his father's inheritance that was given to him, he gets to such a low point in his life that he's feeding pigs and wanting to eat their food. And it is in the midst of that darkness that he even thinks about heading back home. But he's worried that his father will reject him. He's just prepared, to be a servant in his father's house. But reality is so different. Because instead, his father is out in the horizon, keeping an eye and looking out for him. And then he puts on new clothes when he sees his son and gives him a ring and throws an amazing party. The light of Christmas shines particularly bright because it shines in the midst of our darkness. And we get to meet a God who is so desperately searching for us, wanting to redeem us and reach us, that he sends his only begotten Son because he so loves this world. As we kick off this Christmas season, let's take some time to remember the reason for this season and to rejoice in that the light has come, that we were all and are all in need of a Savior. The song, God Rest Ye Gentlemen, goes like this. God rest ye gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we were gone astray. O tidings of comfort and joy. I hope this Christmas that you would get comfort and joy from the fact that Jesus has come to seek and save those that were lost. God bless.